Drive Time with Dave. I'm Dave. I'll be your driver. So I haven't gotten very many questions. A lot of very nice comments, which I appreciate so much, and I would like to identify that we are friends. We've been talking now for a week, going on 2 weeks, and so we're friends after 2 weeks of talking. That's when I consider you my friend. So I'll tell you all my secrets. Ready? There you go. That's all my secrets. So I like to, tell everybody that the first secret that I have. This is the secret, Dave's secret show right here. The secret show. My first secret is you will not make a lot of money overnight. You're going to make a lot of money over a lot of time. I like the sun is just like jacking me. I don't think I can fix it either. No? Let me see here. Hair blockers off. Whoa, deflecting the haters. All right. I've been very lucky. I've had no haters. I've been looking at the hate passing around on some of the other resellers' channels. And unfortunately, I gotta be honest, I don't really think that business and anything else mixes very well. Business and alcohol doesn't mix very well either, so I really don't recommend getting drunk and trying to perform any functions in your business, because it's not going to end well. So let's see, where was I at? I was talking about haters and the hate going on in the resale community. I actually have a few questions for some resellers, but they don't really watch me yet. They will, and then never mind. I'm off topic. Let's talk. We're talking about secrets. Today is secrets with Dave. That it takes time to make money. The second secret is it's a lot of work. And in 20 years, there have been multiple times that it probably would have been easier on myself if I would have had a job. So I could work my 8 hours, and at the end of my 8 hours go home and not have any more problems. And then I would snap out of it and be like, what? I'm not gonna go work for somebody 8 hours a day. That's crazy. No way. No. Nope. Not gonna do it. So I would have worked less and conveniently would have made way less money. So then I wouldn't be able to go, hey, let's quiz a millionaire. I could be doing Drive Time with Dave, but I gotta be honest, I don't think it'd be very interesting. So, how was your day today at the office? Well, I was working on automobiles if I was a mechanic, or I was doing some insurance adjusting if I was an insurance adjuster, or I was a cashier, or I was a cook. I gotta be honest, sometimes I wish that I would have been a cook, because then I could actually cook better. That's like a skill that I'm lacking in. I'd like to be able to cook better. I'm not sure being a cook would cause me to cook better, but, it's the thought that counts, right? That if you're a cook, you could cook better. If I was an accountant, I'd be better at accounting. But I'm pretty good at accounting. If I buy it for $5 and I sell it for 10, I'm pretty positive I've made a profit. I don't need much accounting background. And then I remove my fees and shipping, and then I have to pay my tax. And I still have money left. That's profit. That's making a profit. And then we only have to do that about, 50 million more times, and then we'll have a lot of money. Because, yeah, see, I'm really bad at accounting, but gosh, if I... Header blockers are off. What do you think of that? Trying to fix the, oh, there, is that better? Fixing the lighting? So I'm in my professional YouTube professional production video studio, driving down the road. Gonna have some fancy lighting in my car. So if you know, and that's what I said again, it takes so much time, a lot of time. There's no way to compress the timelines. It doesn't matter what you do, unless you already have millions of dollars to buy millions more in inventory. It's going to take time, because you have to build up the capital to continue to reinvest in more inventory that may or may not sell. One of our viewers told me how many hundreds of thousands of dollars he's doing a month on eBay, and it was a good number. And I'm scared for him, because he's in the pallet breakdown business. He's dealing in customer returns, overstock. Scary business. Unless your overhead is so small and you're doing it with your husband, right? So my viewer, she is in returns and pallet, in customer returns and overstock, and her and her husband are breaking down pallets, and they're doing, let's say it's $100,000 a month, which is good. And if your overhead is small enough, you're in a small building, but you still have you have to have a 6, 7, 8,000 square foot building to be able to handle getting 4 or 5 pallets, breaking it all down, sorting the inventory, being able to open everything. See, the actual process is, it comes in, and you're going to downstack your pallets. You're going to sort the merchandise by the categories that it goes in, and then you'll have a dedicated person. Say it's coffee pots. It's coffee pots. You'll need to make sure they all power on. And if they're customer returns, were they used? Because that adds another element. The problem with coffee pots and Keurigs are... Anybody? Nobody? Nothing? Keurigs have a water tank in the bottom of them that are not removable. And you cannot clean them, and after water sets in them, the water grows mold. So if you were to go out and you were to buy a pallet of household goods and you ended up with some Keurigs, you lost the money. If you bought that pallet based on, the manifest showing that there's 20 Keurigs on a pallet, and you're gonna like, oh, I can resell these things for $25 a piece. There's 20 of them, and the whole pallet's $100, and you're banking on making $200 at $25 a piece. But I think I just did that math wrong, didn't I? I did. As I've said before, when I'm driving along and I'm watching traffic go by, I'm not the most proficient at math, because for one, I'm making up the numbers as I'm going. So forgive me please. Let me start over. I'll do much smaller numbers. 10 Keurigs, $25 a piece. We're gonna make $250. We pay $100 for our pallet. We're up $150 just on the Keurigs. We have a bunch of other items left over from the household side. You may end up getting blenders, food processors. Typically they sort and stack these things for you, so when you buy household goods, you won't get too big of a mix. It'll just be within like coffee makers, blenders, food processors. Sometimes you get into, they'll mix bigger appliances, like you'll end up with microwaves, and you don't want microwaves in there. I can tell you, you don't want microwaves. Yeah, because unfortunately, there's only one way to test a microwave. You have to plug it in and turn it on. I've never seen one explode, but I've heard stories. I don't know if they're true or not. We might have to go on the internet and Google up, do microwaves explode? I don't know. I'm just making that up. I have no idea. So, separating those items and having an employee test them and verify them. If they are not a Keurig, then yeah, I'm sure you can clean them and sell them as used. What is the used market on coffee pots? I don't know. I can tell you the used market on Ninja blenders was very surprising. Now, a lot of the material that I purchased in bulk lots, let's just say it was against my will. The manifest would come over and there's like 10 Ninja blenders and 10 Keurigs, and what I saw was laptops, Bluetooth speakers, iPhones. I mean, I got everything in these loads because I wasn't trying to pick and target, because as I've said before, my opinion or the emotional purchase based on experience will limit you. There's a point where you have to take a chance. I say do research, and some of the stuff, it's very hard to determine if it's going to sell. And the other side to it is, if it's a well-known brand, if you've bought it cheap enough, it may sell. So whether it's household goods or not, going down the line, I also understand. I have a friend that called me this morning. He found my videos and watched them. I'm going to call my friend Doug. I try not to use everyone's real name. But Doug called, and Doug's like, hey. Like, hi. Hey, I just watched all your videos. Well, thank you for watching my videos. I'm sure you've learned nothing, because you've made, 50 times the money that I have. But I appreciate the fact that you've watched my videos. And so he was so excited over when the video about the regional items. Do you have any more examples? Well, no, because there's thousands of those items that would be regional. And so if you're up the East Coast, are items that are available here that are not available on the West Coast. You have to find items that look unique and interesting. And this is all up to your perception and whether you have time to go and spend. And we were talking about particularly dollar store items. That dollar store items on the East Coast is different than dollar store items on the West Coast. That's just through their supply chains and how they buy stuff. And so you can go in a dollar store and spend a little time looking at items. You'll find as far as Amazon's concerned, there's a lot of restricted items. But, nothing's restricted on eBay. Within reason. There are some stuff that you simply can't put up on eBay and sell, because at some point the manufacturer is just going to go crazy on you, and it's not going to be worth it. I can give you a list of some of those items at some point. We'll get to it, but I doubt that you guys are going out buying any of this stuff. Maybe. What do I know? I don't know anything. So Doug says, man, I'm going to go by a dollar store, and I'm going to find this an item, whatever the item is. And then he goes, I'm going to get a distributor that I can buy 10,000 of them from. Okay. And he goes, and then they're going to sell for, like you're saying, these things sell for, $3 or $4 or $5 more you pay. Yes, that is correct. I don't know about 10,000 of anything. I say we need to sell 10,000 of everything, but there's still a reality when you're actually going to go and you're going to buy 10,000 of one item. It may take a while, but you know what? It'll turn into a steady stream of income, right? So if he actually goes and buys 10,000 of something that he spends $1 on, he spends $10,000, and he's going to sell it on, he's going to make $5. He's going to make, $5. He's going to make a lot of money. He's going to make 50 grand. And then you divide that over, I always say 90 days. Maybe it's 120 days. Maybe it's 180 days. But you still take and you divide $50,000 by 180 days. Now, for everybody that doesn't have $10,000, I hear, we don't all have that much money. I know. And I'm so sorry. And I use these examples because you could take $10 and make $50. Same exact principle. It's just not as exciting for me to say, if you spend $10, you're going to make $50 over the next 6 months. Because the reality is, if you were to spend $10 on these products that sell at that rate, well, you're probably going to make your $40 profit in 3 or 4 days. Right? Then you've got $50 and you're going to do it again. And in this case, it could be a laundry basket. It could be candy. You can go in a dollar store and buy dishwashing detergent, name brand. So out of everything in a dollar store, a portion of those items, a small portion, are branded. So you have to go in, it goes into slow motion. And that's how you have to think. When you get in a store, you have to slow down. I go in a dollar store and I've got my kids with me. And I gotta be honest, I can't slow down. I can't think of anything because they're screaming and they're running and they're punching. And mostly me. I'm getting, pulled and punched. I can't even, wow. Everything just got really, really dark, didn't it? Oh, there we are. We're back again. I'm trying to fix the video. Okay. So, and I understand what that's like. So if you've got the time to go, or and it works better when you're in a team. Like, me and my wife will go, and I'm looking at one thing, and she's looking at something, and at that point, it's easier to find items, because I'm going, hey, psst, come here, look at this, we can buy this for $1, and it looks like it's selling for $8. Oh man, how many can we get? Oh, they got one. I'm getting honked at. I'm in a school zone, and the people behind me are annoyed because I had to stop and let 20 6-year-olds cross in front of me, so they decided to honk at me. Which, if I probably didn't have the camera on, I would have stuck my head out the window, and no, I wouldn't have done that, because they're silly. It doesn't matter. So that's a starting point. Let's say let me direct everyone to go to your nearest dollar store and see what you can find, and then report back and see what you think. So everybody's dollar store within their area is going to have different products. Dollar stores are a great resource. I'm saying dollar store, not Dollar General. Ooh, big bump. Not Dollar General, not Family Dollar. Dollar store. Cruise through, find everything that's a name brand that's not generic dollar store. Whip out your little apps, search on eBay. Take a little time, and I would refrain from being overly obvious what you're doing. Not that whoever's in there is gonna be like, "Are you trying to buy from us and resell?" Because I don't think that they would care. I've never tried it, but I will go in. I did go in to so where I'm at. They're within say 20 miles of me. I want to say there's 10 dollar stores, and one day I went in there and they actually had a Dawn, and it wasn't the regular blue kind of Dawn. It was something. My wife got very excited over it. It was a pink Dawn, and I didn't know that this was the special. I don't know what I'm talking about here. Okay, so if you want to correct me, feel free. I don't know what I'm talking about. It was pink Dawn. And it was antibacterial, funky smelling. You could hand softening. Man, this stuff is the miracle fluid in a clear plastic bottle that's pink. Well, I didn't know. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't ever find this stuff. Wow, it's $1." Well, she was excited about it because she wants to use it at home. And I'm like, listen, you just described something that's got to be worth some money. The interesting part is, you look it up. Well, there's some that have sold, but not many. So I'm like, well, maybe this stuff isn't that good. So then I start looking at the variations. So I find that the way to make money on these were to sell them in 3-packs. So we put 3 of these bottles together, and all of a sudden 3 of them are selling for $18. $3? Well, bottle of Dawn's quite heavy. So what's it going to cost us? $8 to ship. Oh, man. $8, $9, $10, $11? Selling it for 18, and then I got to take my fees out of that? And I'm making like $4? Well, so we sold 40 sets of them in 5 days. So that is much different. So you got a box, as I talked about the box, and you fill the box with more inventory. We have a different box, a box of secrets and a box of ideas. And if you could take all the secrets and the ideas and you put them together in a box, what you come up with is how to go and you buy whatever that item is and create your own variation of packaging, combination of items. Don't limit yourself outside the box. It took me 22 minutes to get to my point and tortured you for the first 21 minutes and 30 seconds. Thanks for watching, guys. This was Drive Time. I'm Dave.